of them are going to get through. And if you spend some time on target bans, you can try and swing 2 of those back to red.
Yeah, it does feel like so many of the bans, and this is a pretty good example as we start off champ select for game number 2. There are just champions that you have to take away because of their overall power, and we're kind of seeing 4 of those there. Echo is an adaptation for P1. They'll take Swain and Nidalee off the board as well. Rise, Kindred, they're already the answers for Immortals, and again, you just run out of bans so quickly these days.
Yeah, I mean, still, we're looking at Vladimir's on the table. Maybe some people like to ban Azir, but the supports as well are running rampant. Really, your choice is, okay, what are we going to do about the jungle as well? Maybe Rek'sai. Okay, Maokai finds his face on the table.
And P1, no, they have to do it. Lucian's is such a strong pick. It's one of those other standard bans we look at. Mash, you know, a decent Civ game, but maybe couldn't quite transition well. Lucian, definitely a champion that can go crazy at every stage of the game.
Yeah, I think that is a really good point, though, because they talked about it a little bit on the analyst test, how Mash was kind of hesitant to get in there as Sivir and get some autos off. Lucian, everybody's confident getting into that close range, even though he is also a close range AD carry relatively. He has a lot more mobility with the Black Cleaver Ghostblade build being so popular now, plus just the built-in, once you get cooldown reduction, ability for that champion to weave in and out. So maybe we'll see an increase in DPS uptime from Mashme now that he has secured the Lucian for them. So pretty good first pick for them. But again, on the swing side, there's that Rek'sai I was talking about, and Pobelter back on the Viktor. Maybe this time he doesn't go for that flash under turret early on.
Probably not, but I like it. Again, Immortals, you sort of mentioned this in game 1. They tend to just go down the tier list, as it turns out. Make sure they pick strong champions for themselves. So I like what they're starting off with. P1, though, we'll need to address a few things here. We'll see if Slooshi stays on the Assassins, or maybe goes to something else, but probably no need to show the mid lane just yet. I imagine these will be very safe picks for P1. Zig back on the Trundle, very safe, and Elise also very safe.
All right, I kind of like this. Maokai and Echo both banned, and they pick up Trundle, who's a huge bully for the top lane. We talked about the deep champion pool of Huni and the possibility of these counter picks. Last time we saw him, you know, he's willing to take Riven into the Trundle matchup because you won't have as many stats for Trundle to steal, plus a lot more kill pressure, and you can bring a lot of, you know, surprise gameplay to the mid game. As of right now, they're not going to show it though for him. You want to see the rest of the team generally. And it is going to be looking like a Zyra Ashe combo. Zyra's been one of those reworked mages that's risen to prominence, but not in the mid lane.
Yep.
Really popular support now, brings a lot of damage. Rough, we don't get to see it.
Yep. Just Adrian back on Karma as per usual. Turtle though, do like to see his Ashe. I think it's actually decent in solution, and certainly a champion that I think Turtle himself said yesterday in an interview, yeah, Lucian's very good, but I think Ashe actually might just be straight under him.
Yeah, and so this to me signalizes that Huni wants to play damage from the top lane. If you look at the composition so far from Immortals, Rek'sai, Reignover, Rek'sais have been built uniformly full tank this season, and that's going to be the main tank. You don't need an off tank for this comp because you already have the utility of Ashe Arrow into Gravity Field, so there's plenty of control already for that team, and I think that really does open up them to have a last pick DPS top laner for Huni. Meanwhile, Phoenix1, there they go, they do get the Emperor, and this is going to be one of those stable team comps with Braum Shield plus Emperor's Divide, a lot of terrain there to open up for Lucian to get in and out.
Strong picks, but a change for Slooshi, certainly. No Assassins this time. He's had back-to-back Assassins game with Fizz and LeBlanc after playing that one in game 1. So different style, but certainly a powerful champion. A matchup, though, that they will both be very familiar with. You mentioned the damage, though. Riven, Fiora, these are sort of Huni champions that we might expect, but you really never know what's happening with Huni.
This would be pretty sick if they get the Jace, because that also adds more speed onto their comp. Karma plus Jace can overlap and allow them to disengage during the Emperor's Divide. Plus it would add more poke, which is cool, but they don't really care about those things.
Nope.
It's gonna be the Riven again. That's the same pick that he took into Trundle last time around, and they also lane swapped it, so we shall see if history repeats itself today.
Again, Riven, not a very common champion around the competitive scene, certainly. I know a lot of the Riven mains, there are plenty of them. Complain actually Riven's kind of in a weird spot right now.
Yeah, the champion itself got a lot of nerfs, plus with the rise of tanks, they just kind of overwhelmed her. It has been getting better for Riven players, and Riven mains very happy to see the buffs to Black Cleaver. Very significant buffs to that item, which does help combat a lot of the tank champions. Some people have just decided that it's not quite enough, but Huni, he did rush that item last time as well, so expect that from him again, and it's going to add some extra armor shredding for Turtle once again. So those two guys will be working together.
Yeah, very impressed to see what Huni can come up with. We've seen plenty of individual plays from the man. Team fighting also a hidden strength perhaps of Riven, but we also want to think what you guys know. So make sure to send your tweets to cast a vote for the team who you think will finish this series as victors. Is it going to be Immortals? Use the hashtag IMT win or P1 win if you think Phoenix1 can make it and force it to a third here. Given how they've been playing, they've definitely been up and up, despite the fact that it is their first week of the summer LCS. A tough second draw here against Immortals, but things are looking bright here. We'll see what they can get done in game number 2.
Yeah, pretty tough here drawing these guys once again. And this one, I'm going to be looking very closely at the early stages of the game. Will Immortals go for the lane swap? Because I think it helps them in many, many ways. The Braum Lucian duo lane has a lot of kill pressure as well. Since Ashe has reduced mobility, she really relies on Karma to keep her safe. And if, especially, you have an Elise visit early, level 3, Elise full kit can really capitalize on a lane like Braum Lucian that already has its own kill pressure. And plus, they obviously want the 1 versus 1 Trundle to try and beat up on him.
Well, right now, everyone's just fanning out, so we'll see if we get another blind swap and invert those lanes once again. Gate and Adrian, actually a very similar meeting to game 1. But Adrian will claim control of the brush. And Gate's going to put a ward in and push him out. Up.
Money.
We did it. 8 gold. Game's over. Huni actually getting creative there with Zig. Doing some early damage. Has got the Q skilled up already, but Zig, he's not worried at all. Oh, Huni! Not enough. No, you couldn't get another reset. Yeah, I know it's not possible.
It does a lot of damage to get Qs and, you know, cancel your autos, but it doesn't reset your auto. So not quite quick enough. There's no real way to take that one down. Chop it up, though. So now if someone comes with a sweeper.
It's an easy ward kill.
Takes one.
Slooshi having some fun in the mid lane. Again, looks like no one's really needing to move out to get deep vision. And by the looks of things, we actually are going to get standard lanes this time in the proper places.
All right.
Gravity's back to normal, Kobe.
Okay, I'm going to have to put the spotlight on Zentinel then for Phoenix1 because Phoenix1, we were looking for them to try and jump out of the gates with some early action, try and get a lead so they can snowball. And he's on Elise. He's got one of the champions that has very high early gank potential. He's got lanes that he can work with to capitalize on that. As of right now, it looks like he's going to end his route bottom, but you can go for just the blue quadrant clear on Elise, get an early level 3 and gank even before 3 minutes, just before. Top laners oftentimes really don't expect that. If you throw off your times like that, she heads immediately up there. But for that to happen, it would require early trading by the top laners, and that's not happening yet.
No, they're staying very safe. Ooh, Gate missing that Q hurts a little as Turtle already level 2. Mash also 2 as well, though, so by the looks of things, they're just hanging out and getting their farm. Once again, Adrian on Turtle, kind of a long-range poke-style lane here in the bottom 2v2. Just pretty much don't want to get all in. That's the plan.
Yeah, and Gate is feeling it. The poke does land. Turtle and Adrian assert their dominance over this lane. Gate's going to have to heal up away from the minions. And it's actually Reignover who does the fast 3 camp on their top quadrant here. And he's going to be the one making a visit to the top lane. Even without the early trading, Riven's actually very good at setting up ganks. He's going to come from behind this turret. This is one of the things you can do on Reignover, or on Rek'sai. Tunnel past the turret and come from behind the laner. Here we go.
Yep, Zigdo sniffed it out, but a flash ult is going to move in there. Stun for Huni's good as well, but the damage isn't quite there. That will force the flash out of Trundle, though.
2 flashes for 1, though. That's actually not bad for Phoenix1 and Zig to try and punish that. Let's see if they can get anything done. Elise is on the bottom side. You know, you've seen the Rek'sai pop up, so he moves into the jungle. He's going to steal away at least the blue, I think. Oh, he actually gets found out there. Immortals know that that is the common answer as soon as you see the enemy jungler up top. And Adrian protects Reignover's jungle there. Very good team play.
Zentinel, though, will get the Scuttle Crab for his trouble, so not a complete loss, but not going to get the blue buff he so desperately wanted. Reignover actually going to steal the Gromp away, so it does actually take some of the jungle out from under P1's jungler. Zentinel, though, on the red buff should be okay there. And looks like Reignover's leaving to go back to his own side of the jungle now.
Yeah, plus this signals for Immortals. You know, Huni's got a teleport advantage because that flash being burned by both jungler and top laner did earn them the recall as well. So Zig's going to be sitting up there just farming for now. And the map is open for Huni to try and make a play on if they get a little bit of a deep ward, or if one of the bottom lane duos start trading heavily.
I think it might sync up nicely with the level 6. It's on the way for wildturtle, but Turtle actually keeping back up in CS. Was pushed back a little with Adrian's visit back to their own blue buff, but as you can see, popping back into the bottom lane. Everything's A-okay. Turtle, again, just playing safe. No need to get up and aggressive, because Mash, when he finds the opportunity, will do as much damage as possible. And Braum's missing. Models don't know that, but Mash is playing up and aggressive, trying to keep them out, as Adrian does get some poking, and Gate will return to the lane.
Yep. Back in time, early boot purchase here, and some extra potions because Gate took so much harass earlier. Definitely good for them that he was able to sneak back to base and it didn't cost Mash any extra CS. It's doing just fine down there. Everything really even across the board so far, despite these summoner spells that have been burned due to top lane action.
Huni actually a bit behind on CS, but should be okay. Definitely going for maybe an early Black Cleaver though. Triple longsword. Currently the build could even be a Ghost Blade, I think. Some weapons like that item.
I'll put 10-to-1 odds that it is a Black Cleaver, though.
Yep. I think that's fair.
All right, Zentinel going to head up to the top side this time. There's a ward in that Tribush, though, and I don't think he has Raptor Smite, so he's going to get seen.
Reignover a little unhealthy as Zentinel pops his way into this side of the map, but Reignover does borrow, get the health regen back, and Huni just going to go ahead and clear this out. So again, very quiet all around these lanes. Huni has got back up in CS. Junglers power farming through. Again, kind of poking their heads in lanes where they can. Adrian even getting initiated on his turtle down with the damage, but the snares on the exhauster down as well. And Mash going to try and turn things around. Adrian will get stunned on the other end as Gates just chasing Turtle out of the way. Does need the last order to fight it. Mash going to move in, but that's a great flash from Turtle. Now the TP is coming in from Huni, and Zig, he does cancel with the pillar, and everyone's okay.
Woo, that ward they dropped in the Tribush really pays off. Nice Trundle pillar there to interrupt the teleport, and they get that discrepancy back. Now teleport will come up much quicker for Zig. Pretty good. I don't know how coordinated that was, if they're like, you know what, we're going to push them just to the edge here, but that teleport. Good reactive play there, though, from Phoenix1.
Very nice, but Turtle does have to back off now. They'll push a wave in. Mash and Gate did back off after Riven was initially coming in. Huni actually a bit up in CS now as well. Zig, I think, got forced back out after having to cancel that TP. Back in mid lane, though, we'll check in, and Slooshi having a grand old time just farming away on Azir, but Pobelter with a Hex Core upgrade already should be fine. Looks like Huni now with the ultimate, starting to play a bit more aggressive into Trundle, but it's pretty hard to kill a Trundle, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's also the extra money that Huni was able to buy. Since he didn't have to go back so early, he got a really effective purchase recall, so he had a lot more stats. Now Zig is going to try and even that up, but what Zig really wants to do is wait for his teleport to come back off cooldown. You can see there's only a few seconds left on it, so he'll just huddle under turret, try and CS as best he can, and just weather the storm here from Huni up on the top side.
I like it. Adrian out of mana, but still auto-attacking Gate, trying to pull the wave off. Turtle actually will get somewhat of a freeze here. BF sold back for Ashe now, so Turtle's just hanging out, having a good time, making sure he gets his farm up. Cole picked up for Lucian, so definitely investing a bit more into the slower laning phase, I suppose, that both these teams have sort of agreed upon. Slooshi gets his blue buff, and wave clear will continue as normal. So once again, a very measured start to this game. No lane swap this time, but not necessary. Zig does get some damage down. Hui, very nice on the combos there.
Yeah, I think Zig
takes some turret hits.
Back now. He's out of mana and almost out of health, and his teleport is ready, so there he goes. He'll get his purchase in and come back. Then he won't have to take a beating anymore. Like, he'll go toe-to-toe with Huni after he is able to purchase.
Really smart from Zig as well. Heard Reignover's ulti. Probably had about a 90% chance that he was diving top lane, so Huni just going to proxy the wave. Reignover, surprise, is in this side of the map, but Zentinel also covering there. He's going to spot him down. Reignover just going to get an ulti in, but looks like the top laners will just go back. As we'll check him back with the bottom lane. Everyone just farming away. Turtle with that BF sword, though, able to keep the wave pushed in pretty nicely.
Yeah, so even though there's no action up top, that was a very, very worthwhile move from Reignover to ult up there. They denied an entire extra minion wave from Zig because he had to cancel his recall, reposition himself. Plus, they were able to run him out of the jungle, so pretty good move right there for Immortals that earns them some... well... You miss all of the arrows you don't shoot, right?
Well, something like that. Turtle was definitely on point in game 1 with the Ashe against C9 yesterday, but maybe needs a little bit of a warm-up.
I mean, I think he was sitting on a ward, so they didn't really have any way to know that he was warded, but if you see the arrow coming from that far away, should easily be able to dodge it, and Slooshi just walks right out. So that's one cooldown there from the bottom lane. They will be missing for a little bit, but that warding pays off for Immortals, or for Phoenix1. And Slooshi's able to stay safe in that mid lane. Yep. Continue with his CS. Very happy on Azir to be just CSing well heading into the mid game.
Took some damage from Pobelter, as he actually does have double upgrades on the Hex for now, so I imagine he's got the Q and the E evolved up. Mash does throw out the ulti, but just a bit of poke on the turtle and some wave clear, so again, just pretty much trading farm back and forth. Turtle will happily clear this out. Other than that, junglers looking to maybe get aggressive. Slooshi does have to be a bit careful. Pobelter ready with the ultimate, but thankfully you don't die as instantly anymore to Viktor. You still die pretty quickly, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely still have to respect it, especially this early on, and Slooshi is going to do just that. Pretty much everybody playing defensively and trying to clear out their wards. Really the one thing is Reignover still returning to the top side. Rek'sai, once again, he's over there, counter jungling, positioning to pressure this Trundle again, and really protect this this Huni Riven pick. I mean, you expect a lot of focus from junglers whenever you pick Riven, whether you're on the Riven's team or against it. Yep. Because they both know it's a very snowbally champion. The possibilities are there, and so Reignover's doing a lot of work just by allowing Huni to play aggressively and get him up to the Black Cleaver point. As of right now, pretty good CS lead for him.
Yeah, Reignover's done a nice job. 10 CS up there on the Elise, and was very heavy in the utility, actually. The build was Hunter's Machete, Swiftness Boot, Sightstone, and now I think moving into Cinderhawk with the Chilling Smite. So just wanted to make sure I had all the coverage, which was nice to see. And again, feels like a very Reignover thing to do. Super good counter ganker, super utility heavy player. Rek'sai is his signature champion for a reason.
Yeah, it always feels like Reignover comes into the game with a very clear set of goals in mind and a very clear order in which he wants to go for those. Pretty high on the list has been allow this Riven in the top lane a free early game, which he has done a good job of.
CS lead for Huni as well, so looking good. Mission accomplished, I suppose, there. And you're just going to push this wave in and get some damage down to the turret. It's pretty healthy. Zig again taking trades. Nice pillar. Gets a tower shot down and onto Riven. But blue buff over to Pobelter. Able to death ray that one down. And again, Reignover just making sure the jungle's on farm. Solo laners are doing okay. Immortals more than happy to wait towards a mid game and probably fight around that first objective.
Yeah, I mean, that first objective is going to be the Mountain Drake that's currently sitting there, and Reignover setting up for it. Using that Sightstone you talked about, him getting it really early. He's got the move speed plus vision build here, and he's gone in trying to set up for it. Meanwhile, down bottom lane, Turtle, another arrow ready. And they're looking to use it, but Phoenix1 back off, and Turtle can just hold those minions right in front of his turret.
Mash going back, does get the Ghost Blade, got the Cull halfway ticked down as well, so things looking good there for the Lucian as he gets his first major item. Adrian there swooping out a ward. As we'll check in just quickly with the rest of the inventories. We talked about Viktor before, does have that Mark II Hex Core and some CDR boots. Nash's Tooth though for Slooshi is a great first item spike, putting that to good use, but Pobelter able to trade effectively. Other than that, Huni working on that Black Cleaver that he did suspect. It looks like Zig is going for probably Titanic Hydra as his Hydra of choice this time around. Needs to be a bit tankier with all the burst damage that can come out of the Riven.
Yep, definitely that Titanic. Already got the Jarm's Fist stacking up. And he's not going to be going with the squishier build. Looks like Reignover going to find a pink ward. There's not a lot of help for Zig. They might just go for it. He's out of mana.
They're going for the dive. Zig has already popped the ulti. No, he hasn't done it just yet. Execute there from Huni, but a good flash out of the wind slash might get Zig to safety. Huni, though, will claim first blood, and it's just that easy.
Doesn't even reacquire turret aggro. Azir arrives just after the nick of time, and only around to mourn over the death of his top laner. Meanwhile, they also lose control of mid because of the roam. Pobelter pushes up. Half the damage on the turret is already gone. And things for Immortals looking very good. The continued concentration of support up on this top side with Reignover duoing with Huni, basically, finally pays off for them.
And it's great to see a little thing really open up a game so much. We've talked for, what, 10 minutes now? There's just been little bits of pressure for Reignover. Hasn't overcommitted, hasn't needed to go too crazy. Finally execute an easy dive. And then all of a sudden, Immortals just feel pressure everywhere. Bottom lane is going to fall as Turtle able to take that one out. And it's just, again, that same high-pressure style. Even when they're not playing fast and in your face, Immortals are always making sure that the game is being dictated on their terms.
Yeah, Reignover's the guy. He can have the very spectacular flash plays, but he can also... Uh-oh, arrow under the turret and Zig again!
Oh, he's dead. He
just
with the
revived!
Well, good arrow there from Turtle this time. Does nail that one. And they'll get the turret for their trouble as well. Immortals 2-0 up in turrets and 2-0 in kills to the tune of almost 4,000 gold in the lead at under 15 minutes.
Not some numbers that Phoenix1 wanted to hear. And there goes the Mountain Drake as well for them. But yeah, Reignover, he's the guy. He can also have flashy plays, but he can be the one to just destroy you with 1,000 cuts as well. Continued repeat performances up there, and man, total easy roam in. This arrow right on target. Trundle has no dashes, no flash. Pretty calm and serene early game here from Immortals. Whoop, hello. Next to the turret, so easy knock-up chain there. And just Phoenix1 are in full reactive mode at the moment. Now they're trying to answer back mid, but not too many minions to work with, so Immortals should be okay waiting on the next one as Pobelter buys some time to get a recall in. He's out of mana, so his wave clearing watch is over.
Yep. Essence Reaver done for Turtle though, so he's now able to take that particular watch, at least for now, as Pobelter finishes the perfect hack score, gets himself a needlessly large rod as well. So amping up certainly. We've also got a tier map for Huni in that top lane with the completed Black Cleaver now. So Zig, especially still finishing that Titanic Hydra, is going to struggle, particularly if Huni gets the Rift Terror buff again.
Okay, so this is Black Cleaver plus Tiamat already finished for Riven. Hugest power spike because you can get all of your animation cancels, plus you have the early Black Cleaver for shredding, as well as movement speed on top of it. And now with the 5% damage reduction,
Turtle.
Pretty good rebel, but there's nowhere to jump to, so it's just going to delay the inevitable.
Yep, execute there from Huni off the wind slash is all they need. Turtle, another great arrow despite the repel.
All right, so Huni's ready. Turtle's firing on all cylinders with the Ashe. He's even got cooldown reduction early since he's got that Essence Reaver, and Immortals. This game so much cleaner. They don't even let Phoenix1 in the door this game. All outer turrets still standing for them. No kills and no dragons as well, so this could be a perfect game.
Could be. Slooshi in trouble. Viktor also taking most of his health, but he is able to surf away from the problem. Zig getting aggressive here with Gate. It's a 2v2 on the top lane, but Adrian, too speedy, gets himself out of the way. And so Blue Buff going to go over to Pobelter as well. Again, Immortals, just cool, calm, and collected. I was going to forgive you for thinking that, hey, this is a different game, because of all the action we had in the first one, but this is just Immortals playing such clean League of Legends, and Huni, he has an unbelievable amount of pressure on that bottom side. CDR boots done, pickaxe now done as well. The split pushing will not stop for a long while. Zig is very far behind.
I'm excited to see if he decides to go for some solo plays as well. Extra burst damage from the Rift Herald buff might be enough for him, because Trundle still hasn't completed Titanic Hydra. He does have the Ninja Tabi boots, though, which is going to help him a lot trying to survive. You can see here already, though, Huni goes in, one auto for the harass, and he's going to whittle him down.
Ooh, arrow barely missing on the Mash, but Gate's actually stunned up there by the Karma. Zentinel also in there, but Gate is a little too squishy. That's a flash out from both Reignover and Gate. They also get themselves to safety. The pillar, Huni's worst enemy, so you're able to keep it arm's length for now.
Ooh, does deny the minion, but yeah, the flashes to safety up on the top side. Immortals don't really have to pressure anything or rush this. Just wait a little while for Huni to get his advantage on the bottom side. Just wait out the ultimate here for him, and he should be able to re-engage up on the top side, trying to pressure and keep up the multi-lane push here from Immortals.
Well, that's the biggest issue, certainly. Huni now ready with the ulti. Trundle's just defenseless, honestly, without his ultimate in this 1v1. And Huni's pressure, like we said, it's just never stopping. He's actually a level up as well, so things going from bad to worse here.
Yeah, Huni might have to be a little bit careful because his ward coverage is sparse, but he's going to go aggressive because Reignover is there, the human ward coming in and protecting Huni's aggressive moves.
Dive attempts. Does go awry there, but Reignover just happy to check in. They might be able to get good damage to the turret.
Yeah. Well, since Immortals have done such a good job early, let's talk about how it's going to look like. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, Pobelter getting moved back there by the Azir ulti. Stunned there by Braum passive, and Slooshi cleans one up. No perfect game this time. Now Turtle actually, maybe the second casualty. Mash able to claim him there. Zig does TP in. P1 on the initiative.
There's the first move from P1. They're able to take out the kills plus the mid turret. They should be able to continue pushing. Azir is ready. They can knock down this turret really quickly. That is huge for them to get back into this.
Huni got TP though. Maybe they'll try and defend, but he's taking damage actually on the bottom side of the map. That's 2 turrets down for P1. They'll clean out 2 in the mid lane. We'll have to get away to safety. But I think Huni's just looking for a trade at this point.
Big moves mid. Reignover's kind of trying to keep track of everyone though and delay some recalls here in the jungle. He buys time for Huni to take the turret, so it's not a 2 turret advantage as far as that play is concerned, and Immortals still gets a little bit on the exit.
Well, Gate will get away. Mash actually just off to the top there. Yep, get away this time. Not spotted there by Turtle. Oh, the arrow came out. I think he expected him to be there. Not quite sure what he's fishing for there, but didn't hit.
Reignover's still on the chase though. No blue buff here. Immortal's gonna regroup. They'll probably just set up for the next dragon, honestly. After the hiccups that they just had in mid lane. That will definitely embolden Phoenix1 though. See if they can actually move in and at least clear their red quadrant of wards. Pobelter so far up, gets collapsed on from all sides and has no chance. Turtle also going to go down right after as he was trying to add some cover fire there for Pobelter, but there was no chance for him escaping. And as we know, a little bit of gold back in the pockets of Phoenix1.
Yep, where it counts to actually on the carries. Slooshi able to pick up the first one, and then Mash with the build sort of now ready to hit its first stride here. In fact, both of the carries, relatively aggressive builds, I'll call it. Going for kind of efficient damage as Reignover trying to steal this red straight in their faces. We'll get it, I think, but can he get out of it is maybe the other question. Black Cleaver doing a lot of work here onto the tanky Reignover. Damage is there from the Calling Dragon, maybe contributes as well.
They get the red, but that might cost them Dragon because his ultimate is down, so there's no ulti from Rek'sai to get back on the field. Luckily for them, split push effectiveness here. The Rift Herald buffed up Huni takes another turret on Riven. And that's going to be pretty much everything. He can get cocooned.
1v2 perhaps, 1v3. Slooshi in here as well. Good flash. Gets out from under the Azir ulti. He's out from that Winter's Bite. Very smooth from Huni.
Yeah, pretty important dodge right there, but that is going to be the next objective because try and collapse everyone on that Riven. That's going to open up this Drake. Mountain number 2. We've had so many mountains in this series. It's almost ridiculous. That's just going to accelerate Immortals' process for closing the game, though. Helps out a lot when you get alone time with turrets. You know, Huni's been split pushing. Plus, the threat of the Baron bait's really, really devastating when you've got 2 Mountain Drakes already stacked up and map control.
Huni is so cheeky. He's actually just keeping around. He has a really interesting flank here. P1 are pulling the trigger on Baron.
A little bit desperate here. Huni is available. Everyone else from Immortals is converging as well.
Slooshi.
Oh, they lock him down. Baron stops autoing.
The rest of P1 are there, and they've actually found the Riven. Huni gonna get stunned up there as Gate falls in the ulti after the concussive blows. Now gonna move back in, but Mash, an easy one there for him. Pobelter shoving out mid lane. I guess P1 are off Baron.
Yeah, important pickup right there. They get a man off the field, and 5 versus 4 means they actually get to go back and farm their own jungle for once. Once again, though, every single time there's a play, you know, Immortals setting up, they take an extra objective. All outer turrets gone now, and secondary turrets. Slooshi getting a little bit back for the Phoenix team, but it might cost him.
Is he safe under his Sun turret? I guess we'll find out. Reignover gets pushed back in, but Turtle's there with a bit of damage. Reignover happy to tank for as long as he can, but the damage is maybe enough from Slooshi. Turtle lives this time, but that was awfully close.
Definitely a nail biter there. They do get the kill, though. And that might mean the Baron.
Immortals looking in for it. Turtle, not sure how much lifesteal he has, but probably going to be kept healthy enough. Baron is the target though for Immortals, 5v4. Let's see if P1 can challenge here. They cannot.
No, not going to be there.
Ulti, looking for someone, doesn't find it with the arrow, but Huni with the flank. Maybe looking to get involved. Activates teammate, why not? Now pops the ulti in onto Gate, damage is there. Gate gonna keep trying to run. Huni will chase him down for now, but Immortals want some more. Zentinel actually the next target there from Reignover. As Gate's locked up on the other side. Huni is gonna take him out with the fight moving out on 2 fronts. Zentinel also taking Immortals, just catching the sloppy Phoenix1 around the Baron area.
Yep, Baron empowered recalls. They can go purchase after that as well. Everybody on Immortals is rich, plus Baron buff. Here come the sieges, pastry time.
And this is the issue. Huni has already been split pushing for most of this game since the advantage that he's been given after Reignover's nice pressure. Not going to stop. 6 turrets currently for Immortals. Just those inhibitor ones to try and break. And of course, the Nexus ones after that. We'll see what damage they can get done here. Already 3,000 gold up on the Baron power play. Immortals could do real damage here.
Yeah. Huni's with all the purple buffs as well. He's got Baron as well as Glimpse of the Void. Still hanging on from the Rift Herald. And they begin to close the loop. Bottom is going to be the other lane that they pressure probably, while they remain 4 mid.
Well, right now Reignover does go back, buy himself some items. Now going to use the ulti to come back in. Zentinel a little too far forward. Going to miss the cocoon though, as Reignover's very speedy. Home guards his way back down towards the bottom side. No TP for Huni means he probably can't split up.
Yeah.
But they'll pressure anyway as 5.
It is also kind of hard, I guess, for Immortals to dive this since there's Azir wall plus Braum shield. But they're whittling this turret down really quickly.
Yeah, Turtle tanking the turrets as well, but the ulti out from Braum's going to start something here. Huni, though, going to block off Gate from coming in, and now Zig going to get aggressed on. Now kind of going for the dive. Reignover taking too much damage. Mash actually going to take him out on the front side.
And he's down. That wasn't even a full commitment to a dive. Phoenix pull off the defense here. They're able to ward off Immortals for a little while. Oh, they go in!
Slooshi, big play, but it's not enough. Adrian actually gets him on the back end as Turtle does the damage. Huni now diving in for it, and that's a massacre. Turtle picks up a double for himself and breaks the base straight down. Zentinel not so lucky as well. Pobelter wipes him off the rift.
Well, that's going to cut down on a lot of game time right there. They had the defense, but Slooshi goes in for the hero play. Turns out it was a 0 play. He goes down, a couple of other members, and it might even be the game as they stick around with Baron buff after that.
Turret's looking very vulnerable. They'll probably get 1, if nothing else. Immortals looking to keep pressuring. Mash has to be awfully careful here. That's 1. Immortals going to keep going.
Yep, that is going to be it. Immortals finish this one out cleanly in game number 2. Just over 26 minutes, 2-0 for Immortals.
And that's all it took. One little